And once again, I want to say greetings to each and every one of you, Aquaba, and welcome. Welcome to another round of the Conscious Roster Report here on LIB Radio, LIB TV, and livinginblack.com. My name is Kidiobi Wadu, aka the Conscious Roster. Weekday mornings, you and I get together live. We come at you from 9 a.m. Pacific time. That's 12 noon Eastern time, 5 p.m. GMT, and 8 p.m. East Africa time. We get together with you, and we deal with culture, consciousness, historical perspectives. We deal with entertainment, economics, education, health, labor, law, politics, religion, family, conflict, future studies, all areas of human interactivity and development. Today's date is Friday. It is the 26th day of December, the year 2025 in the Western calendar. That corresponds to the year 6266 in the Kemetic calendar, to which we have realigned our cultural clock. Welcome to the 7th millennium. You have found your family. You have found your family in a peaceful place on LIB Radio, LIB TV, and livinginblack.com. Let me tell you what we have on store for today's program. I hope you find it to be fascinating, to be absolutely compelling. Let's talk about, first of all, the theme is making Umoja practical with Made in Africa economics. Now, I tell you, I am doing the best that I can to make this program distinct, to stand out, to give us marching orders, practical marching orders. We must have marching orders. Unlike most African-centered programs dealing with Kwanzaa principles, and I was just listening to my brother, your brother, Brother Kaba, on KPFW out of Washington, D.C., or WF, that's K is west of the Mississippi. And I was just listening to him, and he had some elders on, and they were talking about Kwanzaa, but it was generalized. I could barely listen to it myself. You don't want any generalized information from me. You want very specific information from me. Specific information, I believe, we can better act upon. So when I talk about Kwanzaa and unity, I've got to give you real, deliberate, strategic action points. So first of all, let's go into Kwanzaa. This is the 6th day of the Korast Ma'at Kwanzaa, 12-day celebration. Today is Umoja, unity, to strive for and to maintain unity in the family, community, and nation. So that's first and foremost what's on our page. Now, next, let's get into, and here, let me just put this up. Next, let's get into, today, we share an excellent and timely theme. Tying Made in Africa import substitution to Kwanzaa's first principle, Umoja, unity. Tying these things together, Made in Africa import substitution, gives it a cultural grounding and makes it an economic strategy. Umoja emphasizes collective work and shared purpose, precisely what's needed for African diaspora households to transform consumption at $1.93 trillion a year at the end of next week, $1.93 trillion a year in consumption, to transform that into coordinated wealth building and producer networks. So that's what we are into today. First of all, let me present a 15-step framework for those of you who won't have the patience to end up or to follow us through to the end of the program. A 15-step framework for putting that vision that I just described into motion. Now, first of all, I want to say greetings to you, my African sister, to For Africa One, aka Sister Shingai, Hotep, Brother Kiti, and Global LB family on the first day of Kwanzaa. Habari gani? Umoja. Habari gani, what's the word? Umoja, unity. And let me ask you, do you agree, my sister, that we as a collective need to move beyond just stating these principles, their values? It is very important that we recognize these principles and that we encode them in our lives. But what I am saying is, let's tie Umoja and Ujamaa, collective economics, let's tie it directly to the African Continental Free Trade Area. There are so many areas where we could tie this up to AGOA, African Continental Free Trade Area. But it's in essence, we have got to put our $1.393 trillion in spending, and that also extends to 19 billion pounds worth of collective consumer spending. We've got to put that on the table for the African Continental Free Trade Area as much as possible. Do you agree? I'm asking the question of all of our listeners. Do you agree with this particular strategy that I am talking about today? One more thing I want to do before I go ahead and get started. I want to view this on YouTube, and we will have a chance now to all build together, grow together, and see a new dynamic. 15-step framework. I'm going to outline this real quickly, and then we're going to go into the details. Number one, define a unified economy or economic identity. Define a unified economic identity. Adopt Umoja as a living principle. We buy, build, and brand together. Establish a shared mission that every dollar, every pound spent strengthens the Black global economy. Point two, we've got to find a way to assess diaspora spending habits. Collectively, we spend $1.93 trillion annually as of 2025 in the United States, and for our Afro-British people, cousins, family, that amounts to about 20 trillion, slightly less than 20 billion pounds. So we assess this as our conduct community surveys and data mapping of top categories where money currently exits the community. Food, beauty, fashion, electronics, technology, furniture. Identify potential substitution points for African-made alternatives. Point three, identifying African manufacturing clusters. Locate key African production zones. Example given, textile cooperatives in Ghana, Kenya, Ethiopia, shea producers in Nigeria, coffee in Ethiopia, finished goods in Kenya, agro-techs in South Africa that can export quality goods with diaspora partnerships. Next, form diaspora procurement collectives. Create buyer groups that aggregate middle-class household demand for African goods, securing discounts and steady markets for Africa producers. Point five, build or join cooperative trade platforms. Use Pan-African or African-centered e-commerce networks and logistics hubs. Example given, the African Continental Free Trade Area, Digital Marketplace, AfroMart, to streamline access between African producers and diaspora buyers or consumers. Point six, partner with African export councils. Work with national trade boards to standardize quality, labeling, packaging, and customs processes that meet diaspora consumer standards. Point 6, launch Buy Africa First campaigns through podcasts, social media, and business directories. Encourage the diaspora to deliberately reroute a percentage of their monthly budget toward African-sourced goods. Point 8, establish Diaspora Africa supply chains. Engage logistic companies and freight forwarders that specialize in fair, transparent delivery from African producers with bonded warehouses and major diaspora cities. Bonded warehouses in major cities. Point 9, mobilize community investment funds. Pool diaspora capital into cooperatives or credit unions that finance import substitution ventures, factories, packaging plants, and distribution centers. Point 10, develop quality certification and branding. Create a Made with Umoja or Diaspora Verified label, guaranteeing authenticity, ethical sourcing, and reinvestment back into African communities. Create that Made with Umoja. That's very important. Number 11, train and JEGNA, aka formerly known as Mentor, African producers. Set up online workshop and JEGNA-ship with African professionals across the diaspora, including finance, marketing, product design, to African entrepreneurs to upgrade production capacity. Point 12, host Pan-African trade and buyer missions. Organize annual expos connecting diaspora buyers, investors, and African producers under the banner of Umoja, unity through commerce. Number 13, integrate cultural storytelling. Tie each product to its cultural roots, language, geography, art, to create emotional connection and reinforce identity-based loyalty in consumers. Number 14, track impact metrics. Monitor growth in African value, jobs created, and diaspora savings captured through buying local to global. Publicize milestones to sustain momentum. Number 15, reinvest our profits into community education. Use parts of the profits to fund STEAM ships, STEAMSHIPS. STEAM ship stands for science, technology, engineering, arts, mathematics, spirituality, holistic health, innovation, prosperity, and sustainability. STEAM ships. So use part of the profits to fund STEAM ships and vocational education programs across the diaspora and Africa, perpetuating the Umoja cycle of unity, production, and purpose. So tying it all together, Umoja is not only about harmony, it's not only about mouthing words and all saying the same phrases together. That's beautiful. All of that is wonderful. But we got to go further. Kwanzaa has been around now for what, 68, 70 years? We got to go further. And we've got to be very, very deliberate about the plan ahead. It's functional unity, shared economics, synchronized consumption, and mutual production. If diaspora households redirect even 5 to 10% of the spending that we're currently doing toward African-made goods, the effect is a circular economy that multiplies African employment, strengthens manufacturing independence, and manifests cultural unity in tangible economic power. So that is the Made in Africa import substitution. It is Umoja in action. Let me get a comment. Let me share a comment. For Africa One, my sister, thank you for talking to me today. I don't know what's up with the rest of our family, but we're going to find them. They're going to find us. We're going to be talking to each other by the end of today's conversation. Let me just real quickly type in this particular theme: made in Africa, import substitution. That's very important. She writes, absolutely. But how? We get a critical mass of our people to trust each other. Unfortunately, I buck up on too many people who still think, quote, the white man's ice is colder, unquote, in and out today. You're right. It's an uphill battle. It kind of feels like Sisyphus, the mythical Greek, I think it was Greek, rolling the stone to the top of the hill only to have it tumble back down on our head and we start all over again. But I tell you though, 68 years into the Kwanzaa celebration, 69 years, we cannot keep doing the same thing. So my strategy is to use the propaganda power, if there is any propaganda power still left in LIB radio. My strategy is to have conversations with brothers like Mbwewe Ishangi, who was with us a couple of days ago, talking about his phenomenal books and his new book coming out. We're going to have him again on when his new book comes out at the end of this next month. My strategy is to find partnerships. Every time I can, insert my voice to the fact that we must, as African diaspora, we must individually and collectively adopt wholly and completely the African Continental Free Trade Area. It is there. It is an avenue. It is the road in. It is the road up. We must also study other groups that have been successful, especially the Chinese and the Indians and South Koreans. We must study them. I'm not envying them. I'm not jealous of them. I want for my group what they did for their group. And we can do this. Made in Africa, import substitution, Umoja in action. Clip that quote. Paste it everywhere you can. Made in Africa, import substitution. Take today's promotional panel for today's broadcast and copy that image and share it. That image, and let me just show you that image real quickly. Let me show it to you. Take me a second to click over. Here, I'm going to go over. I'm going to click this image and share it. And I need to, this is the share. This is the image. Umoja. Making Umoja practical with made in Africa economics and especially import substitutes. So imagine yourself, imagine myself sitting at this table with our people. And we're looking at what we make, who we plan on buying it, and then we're going to build those partnerships, make it practical, and grow from there. It's not going to be easy. Not everybody's going to be willful. You're absolutely right. But we have no choice. We cannot go another quarter century. We cannot go another half century as economic slaves to consumerism. Because the AI revolution is ushering in a new global order. And in that new global order, we aim to be in charge of our destiny. So let's go back. Let's go forward. We're going to do the best that we can do with what the Creator has put in our hands. Now, I'm also going to say to our people, and you have already heard it, LIB Radio is fund drive. We're in fund drive mode. And the majority of our listeners, they haven't given anything. Now you, my beloved sister, you are very generous. during our fund drive, for which I am extremely grateful. But we still are really dragging our rear. We're dragging our rear, and it's painful. It is extremely painful, but we're going to do the best we can to persist. It's hard for me to even see beyond the date of our anniversary, which is the first week of January. We're going to do better. And the December fund drive is almost over. Let's continue. Now, let's go, and I'm trying something a little different today. We're going to do this. I'm going to kind of restart, and I'm going to be reading from a script. I specifically used Perplexity, my favorite AI engine, not for search, but I asked it to write me a script for today's program. So I'm going to go into that script. Welcome back, family, to another round of Making Money Fridays, the show where culture meets cash flow and wealth becomes a family affair. I'm your host, Kidi Obadu, and this week we're tapping into the power of Umoja, the first principle of Kwanzaa, unity. Umoja means we move as one body, guided by a shared purpose. Economically, that means uniting our spending, our production, and our ambition to build the kind of world our ancestors dreamed for us. One paycheck, one investment, one cooperative at a time. Today's episode, Made in Africa Import Substitution, turning our spending into a pan-African, African-centered investment movement. So grab a pen, grab a notebook, or just open your mind, because we are about to turn unity into prosperity. First, we began with the vision. Let's start with the big picture. Every dollar, every pound we spend has a passport. It either circles back into our community or it flies away, never to return. Import substitution simply means choosing to produce or at least purchase goods that come from our own networks. Africa, the Caribbean, and the global African diaspora. Now, I have been teaching in the 6 pillars of empire that every great economic system in history, every great empire, must first identify the people that belong to the group. Second, make goods and services from raw materials available to the group. 3, supply its own people first. 4, produce a surplus and then export that surplus to bring wealth back into the group. 5th, expand its land with security. And 6th, educate its youth to inherit and control the whole process in perpetuity. That's what Asia did. It did it with electronics. And that's what Africans can do with everything. Now, if you tie all of that together, that's Umoja. Unity is not just a feel-good idea that comes through once a year. It's a structure. That structure connects producers in Africa with consumers in London, New York, Accra, Toronto, and Lagos in one continuous financial bloodstream. Next, we must lay the groundwork. This is very important. Let's move from principle to practice. Step 1, we defined our shared economic identity. Every choice we make, coffee, clothing, skincare, needs one guiding question. Does this dollar, does this pound strengthen the black global economy? Step 2, we map our spending leaks. Pull up last month's credit card statements and look for your top 3 recurring categories: hair care, food delivery, home goods. Then ask, how much of all of that goes to African or black owned producers? These are practical steps, people. Step 3, identify those production hubs across the continent. Ghana, kente cloth. Kenya, leather goods manufacturers. Ethiopia, coffee roasters and apparel manufacturing. Shoes made in Ethiopia. Nigerian cosmetics and chemists. These are the seeds of continental industry. Step 4, from diaspora procurement collectives. Maybe 10 families in New York pool their monthly grocery money to bulk purchase shea butter, moringa, dried fruit, or African textiles. By buying together, you create predictable demand, the same factor that built Europe's middle class. Step 5, plug into already existing African-centered Pan-African trade platforms, like the new African Continental Free Trade Area, e-marketplaces, or community-driven platforms such as AfroMart, to make direct consumer-to-producer connections without middlemen inflating the costs. You see, Umoja is already alive there. Families uniting their budgets, communities uniting their demand, and producers uniting their supply. That's unity with a profit motive. Now we need to focus on building the infrastructure. These are the next steps required for us building the infrastructure that will support what we intend to do. Step 6, we partner with African export councils to certify and ship quality goods. When you see a label that meets US and EU standards, that's a signal African products belong on global shelves. Step 7, we start our Buy Africa First campaigns, multiple campaigns. Challenge your neighborhood or social media circle to shift 5% of their monthly budget to African goods. Small at first, but powerful when multiplied across millions of people. Step 8, build logistics pipelines. Team up with shipping co-ops or existing diaspora freight services. Every successful trade route strengthens independence and sustainability. Step 9, fund it collectively. Use diaspora credit unions, cooperatives, or even online crowd investment portals. We can invest $50 or $100 shares into small African manufacturing startups, turning remittances into real equity. Step 10, create branding that unifies everything under one recognizable banner, like, quote, made with Umoja. When you see that label, you know the product came from ethical African production, diaspora distribution, and reinvestment into community education. Here's the key insight. We talk about unity all year long, but Umoja becomes living truth when we move our money in the same direction. Let me repeat. We talk about unity all year long, but Umoja becomes living truth when we move our money in the same direction. That makes great sense. I do have a comment from my beloved sister, and brother, Nguvu is in the house. Welcome, Nguvu. I hope you caught our conversation up here so far, because we are on a roll. He says, Sawubona, I see you. I see you too, my brother. And today we are talking about making Umoja practical with Made in Africa economics. Let's go back to our conversation here. Now, let's deal with the culture and continuity, because this has got to be centered in our culture, deep in our culture, because culture becomes the ultimate determinant of human behavior. Step 11, train and jegna African producers. Every diaspora, and jegna is a word we use because we do not do that to our sons that the mentors did. So we use the term jegna, which means to train and guide them. Train and jegna African producers, every diaspora professional, every one of us, from accountants to graphic designers, can give at least one workshop, one coaching call, or one collaboration back home. I do it generally on a weekly basis, and it feels good, makes me feel good about my contribution. Step 12, host annual Umoja trade summits, virtual or in person, bringing diaspora investors and African creators face to face. Imagine a marketplace buzzing with possibility and cultural pride. Step 13, embed our stories in our products. A bag made in Addis Ababa should ship with a car that tells the story of the artisan, the neighborhood, and the tradition behind it. People don't just want more goods, they want a connection. And Umoja provides that emotional wealth. Step 14, measure the results. Analytics. How many dollars re-entered African economies? How many jobs were created? The data drives the decisions. Step 15, reinvest our gains into education. That was the sixth principle of the 6 principles of empire, or 6 pillars of empire. Reinvest our gains into education, vocational training, and youth entrepreneurship. That ensures tomorrow's producers emerge from our own lineages, continuing through Umoja. So, LIB family, today, that is the 15-step blueprint to make Umoja more than just a mere seasonal celebration. It is an economic lifestyle. Imagine the impact if 1 million diaspora households redirected even 10% of their annual spending. That's billions of dollars staying within African hands. That's billions of pounds. We're talking about $1.93 trillion in consumption of just Africans in America by the end of 2025. So here's your Money Making Fridays challenge. This week, pick one product you use daily, be it coffee, clothing, or skincare. I don't drink coffee, but I do wear clothes, and I do engage in skincare, and switch to a made in Africa alternative. I do have a big block of shea butter over here. I use that as much as possible. Post your purchase online with the tag, quote, made with Umoja, or made with Oja. and tell us how it feels to make your money matter. Made with Umoja. Together, we can convert unity into prosperity, culture into capital, and vision into victory. My name is Kidi Obiawadu, and this has been Making Money Fridays. Stay wise, spend with purpose, and remember, Umoja is the seed of black wealth reborn. Umoja, Umoja, Umoja. Ashe. Let me see if we have any response to the script that I just read. We wrote the script. And we are moving forward. If by, Nguvu announced has a comment on Rumble, if by study you mean develop a system that works by us, I am in total agreement. Yeah, you really need to hear the entirety of today's program because we have gone way beyond study for today. This is a practical plan. And it is, according to my perspectives, a definitive practical plan. Step 1 through 15, and then we did the other critical steps that were in the script. So if you need me to go through the 1 through 15 again, but I would prefer you just replay the program when I'm finished. And we can make it work. We can make it work. So let me just do this. Because I really want to, after finishing that, I want to get started right now. First of all, we see these labels. And I'm going to do this real quickly. In the background, I'll see how I can do this. I'll create this label. Now, I use AI nowadays. In this particular, I'm going to use this particular program. I'm not going to tell you all what I'm doing. I've already given you the programs that I use to do this. And what we're looking for is create a label. Create a label called Made with Umoja. Make a label, Label, called Made with Umoja. Now, I just put that in real quickly. We can start. It's loading Nano Banana, and it should just take a minute. And it's going to be just it's a label, but it's also a logo. So I asked for a label, so it's probably going to create maybe the type of label you would put on the back of a shirt or whatever. It is creating the design concept, evaluating the alignment, and I like it. I like it a lot. Open image, copy image address, and you tell me, do you like this label? And hopefully it's a little long. I don't know if I can really do that. Well, here, let me just do this. I'm just going to put it up on the page. And I'm going to share this. You tell me, what do you think about this particular label? And I like it, to tell the truth. Share it. And is it there? No, that's not it. Add to the stage. Remove this. I'm going to add a label. Bear with me. Add an image file. Stop screen. Share screen. And the screen I'm going to share is, where is it? Let's try this. I'll have to do this a different way. I've never done this particular exercise before. I'm going to present, share screen. It is up here, and it's, oh, here it is, right there. You tell me what you think about this particular label, whether if you saw this label on a package, would you be interested in purchasing it? Let me increase the size a little bit. You tell me, would that capture your interest? That's not the one. Come on. Where did it go? It's here. I use this program for a lot of different things. Let me just go to it. And it's not there. And, oh, you are looking at it. No, you're not. So let me just close this. And you did see the image made with Umoja. And what I'm going to do is, let me try this one more time. I'm going to create this label using Gemini. Create a label. There it is. So I'm going to just save that label to my hard drive. And you got a chance to see it. Made with Umoja. Unity and community. So I'm going to save that image as Umoja. Umoja, unity, and community. So I'm going to do the best I can to get these things moving. Some of you will do the best that you can to join me. And I personally think we should join together. That label is, that link I just sent you is not going to work. So my apology for that. But we're going to do the best we can to get moving, get going forward. We can do amazing things. But we really have got to, we got to try. We got to try harder. We got to do the best that we can to do the best that we can. And move away from passive dialogue, study, and move into serious action. I must admit, I will admit, as much as I do, I'm still doing just a fragment of what I could do because I don't have access to wealth. I'm still struggling just to pay my bills and feed myself, pay the bills. Hence our December fund drive. Let me kind of shift in the remaining segment because I just read what I put together for today's program. And after that, Gus is in the house. I saw it just now. What did you think? What do you think, Gus? What do you think, Gus? He said, I saw it just now. And it is up on my desktop right now. And let me try and show it one more time. I don't know why it's so difficult. Share screen. And it's here. There it is. So I'm sharing that right now. Made with Umoja. There it is now. Everyone can see it. I'm going to let it ride for a minute. And let's talk about the LIB Radio Fund Drive, because that is something that's very important. And we're down to the last week of our LIB Radio Fund Drive. We do this very deliberately. The economy doesn't have to be a mystery. This is why we have this program every Friday, Show Me the Money. And today we focus on Umoja. That's where our real money will be coming from. Economic empowerment. The economy doesn't have to be a mystery. And financial literacy shouldn't be a privilege. This December, as many of us reflect on our financial journeys and set money goals for the new year, we are asking you to support the podcast that's committed to your economic empowerment. Week after week, we break down complex economic trends, decode financial jargons, and share practical strategies for building wealth and protecting your financial future. From understanding inflation and interest rates to exploring investment strategies, cryptocurrency, real estate, and entrepreneurship, we deliver the economic education that the school system did not and is not expected to provide to us. Our independence is our strength. We're not selling you any financial products. We're not pushing get-rich schemes or taking sponsorship from institutions that profit from your economic ignorance. Your donations keep us accountable only to you, allowing us to deliver honest, accessible financial educations that serves your interests, not Wall Street's. In the past year, we've helped listeners understand market volatility, navigate economic uncertainty, identify income opportunities, and develop long-term wealth building strategies. We've shared the insights and do constantly from economists, successful entrepreneurs, and everyday people who have achieved financial freedom through knowledge and discipline. These conversations have real-world impact on real people's lives. This holiday season, often a financially stressful time, consider investing in the resource that helps you make smarter money moves year-round. Your $20, $50, or $100 contribution ensures that we can continue producing episodes that demystify economics. We can celebrate financial wins in our community and provide the tools you need to stay ahead, to get ahead and stay ahead. Help us meet our December fund drive goal so that we can expand our economic coverage, bring you on even more diverse financial experts, and create additional resources like downloadable guides and workshops. Your financial future is too important to leave to chance, and your support ensures we'll be here to guide you through whatever economic challenges and opportunities lie ahead. Invest in your financial education today. It's the gift that keeps on giving. So we're asking that you go to the front page of LIB Radio, scroll down to the bottom, and look for a link, our donation and subscription links. Go to, let me repeat, I'm going to paste up this link. It says, go to LIB Radio, scroll to the bottom of the page, and look for the donation links. And I do see some commentary on the label. And I do see there's a little bit of that label I would change, but not much. It says made with Umoja, unity and community. That makes great sense. I do see Gus says it looks good, has an organic flair to it. It does, doesn't it? And of course, that's because it's made with not paper, but it's made with hemp, as you can see, or flax, linen, or it could be hemp as well. But I think that's not. It's the label is linen, and the cloth is burlap, which I think is made with flax, maybe different. For Africa One says, I would be drawn to the simple, natural look. And he says, I would consider changing it to unity in community. That's exactly what I was thinking. You're absolutely right. I agree with you completely. And I can change that in just a second. I'll work on that a little bit later. So we're looking at labels, and attach a label you would recognize as strictly with us. And there's another label that I am considering. I'll make that label a little bit later. And that's a beautiful thing. Now with AI, we can double up, triple up, quadruple up our ideas. And if I don't like that one, with AI, I can manufacture 15 of them until it finally gets one that I like. So that's it. I think we've come to the end of today's program. I feel confident about us making a difference. The fund drive, I did see one new subscriber. I don't know whether he subscribed or it was a one-time donation, but he did contribute $5, and that is very welcome. Your $5 combined with two other people, was it 2 or 3 other people? It was 4 donations came in yesterday. The 3 of them had been previously with us for some time. I think one of them was held over just because of Christmas Day. Yeah, business didn't work, but with the donations coming in, I was able to buy another day of not being penalized for what they sell, overdrawn account. And we're going to do better. Somehow, some way. I do work as a consultant for people's health. And Brother Gus, I hope you are impressed. I've now increased my push-ups to yesterday, I think was 825. Let me write it all down. Yeah, yesterday was 825. That's in 3 sets. So the first set I did 350. The second set 250. And the third set I did 225. And actually, I was telling myself, I'm going to ease back a little bit. About a week or so ago, I started feeling some kind of lingering pains and things. And rather than ease back, because I was going to ease back to 600, 203 times. But now, after the detoxing, I'm on my 4th or 5th day. Today is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th day. I began last Sunday, so that makes today the 5th day of my winter solstice detox fast. My body is actually boosted up. And so yesterday, why not do 825? I could theoretically do 3 sets of 350, which would put me at 900. That would put me at 1050 for the day. But I'm very cautious about doing so many because I can hurt myself. Now, recently I did take it over the top and I did 465, which is a new lifetime record. I didn't think I was going to get back on track for breaking my lifetime record again, but I did. So we have a new lifetime record, 465 push-ups in 1 set, single set. So all of that to say this, I want everybody to realize health is wealth. You don't have to do 100, 200, 400 push-ups. Well, at least do 100. 100 in a set makes you feel real good. And at age 70, I don't think it's beyond anyone else out here to be able to do 100 push-ups in a single set. No pause, no break, just do them. I'm very fortunate to hear back from a number of my brothers who are on track and are doing 100 push-ups in a single set now. And they let me know that it was me who inspired them to do it. Hey, looking at myself, at age 63, I was doing 60 to 70 push-ups in a single set. And I was feeling real good about myself. Now, I'm doing over 350, or I'm doing 350 in this first set of the last couple of days. So in other words, do your best at staying healthy, getting healthy, being healthy, staying healthy. I am a consultant. If you want to be like me, if you want, I do health consultancy as a primary income. Text me your needs and I will call you back. Text 702-580-0662. And let's get this party started. Anybody who wishes to get healthy, be healthy, stay healthy, I'm here. I'm here for you. So on that note, let me begin to wrap it up. You've been tuned into LIB Radio today. We aim to be your favorite. We're going to do the best we can to be your favorite. And when you make the decision to support us, we will be here even longer. Very proud to be serving you, a community that deserves, absolutely beyond a shadow of a doubt, deserves the greatest level of respect and honor that we could possibly give to each and every one of you. I want to thank you for tuning in today. LIB Radio, LIB TV, livinginblack.com. Tell your friends to tell their friends that we have our own now. And we're very proud of what we have, very proud of what we do, very proud of where we are going. Yet we have to realize that without community support, we have to stop. And I don't want to stop. I really do not want to quit. We've never been a quitter. And you are the key to what lies ahead. So on that note, I want to thank you all for tuning in. I'm going to play some bumper music and take you out. And I should get some drums. I need some African drums. I got this hankering for African drums. I do this nightly ritual just before going to bed. I will engage in it's supposed to be 12 minutes worth of Japanese exercises from the elderly people in Japan. I have 5 exercises that they do every day that keeps their backbone flexible, keeps them able to eat on the floor and get up and down, this and that. So I do that before going to bed. But I've gotten in the habit of listening to African ethereal music while doing that. And so I'm going to copy one of those tracks and just put it in my MP3 player for the program and going in and going out. But for right now, we're just using Substack for the music that they put out. It's very positive. And we do the best we can with what we've got. So on that note, thank you all for being a part, for paying close attention. Thank you for the feedback. If you can, please hit the like button for today's broadcast. Let the algorithms know that you like what you hear. On your favorite, we aim to be your favorite. We are LIB Radio, LIB TV. We are living in black. And also, you can subscribe to us. Do the best you can. There is a new link I see. By subscribing below, you agree to purchaser terms. That's just but give us $5 once a month. Click that button right below. And that's going to do a bunch of good. And I'm going to tell everybody it's because of you that we thrive.